Hey guys, how's it going? It's me Tim here and I'm going to be giving you another video. Well, this time it is a QBD guide. Now I know I said I was gone and you were probably all very happy to get rid of me. But I couldn't resist helping someone out, so yeah, I guess I'm making this video. And you know what, you guys might benefit from it as well. So, as you can see, I have got some stuff in my inventory. Now, it'll all become apparent about what this is about in a sec, but I'm just going to tell you now, actually. Basically, guys, this is my this is my QBD guide, and I'm just going to quickly run through a couple of things that you could do, and then I'm going to be doing a kill, just to prove that it works. So, the first thing I'm going to go through is the setup. Now, I've got set up here for two things. Clicked on the wrong thing. Oh well, good start. I've got set up for two things here. I've got a setup for a mage, which I'll put on right now. And I've also got a setup for a range. Now, obviously, you can substitute some things out, but I'm just going to read just some stuff, what you should probably take. So, starting, we have an obsidian cape. Now, I would obviously try to substitute this out for something a little bit better. If you've got a skill cape, that's great, and obviously a god cape as well could be quite good, but I've just gone with the obsidian cape. You know, it's quite easy, and you know, it doesn't cost very much, and also I don't have a better cape, so yeah. Then I've got Ganodermics, so Ganodermic visor, poncho and leggings, but I've also got the boots and gloves. Now the boots you can always swap these out for like Glavens or something, but no, not Glavens, Ragefires. But you know, I've just gone with the Ganodermics just because it provides us pretty much the same armor and lifing bonus, so you know, it's pointless really spending the money to get Ragefires. Now, I've gone for a Seer's Ring simply because it gives a good critical bonus, and the same reason for Saradomin's Hiss. But of course, if you're going for a more budget approach, then you might still want the Saradomin's Hiss, but you might want to substitute for a Ring of Wealth instead of the Seer's Ring. But for the kill that I'm doing, I shall be using the Seer's Ring. Obviously, a Ring of Wealth increases your chances of getting a good drop, but I mean, you know, QBD is very, very good for stuff like that, so you shouldn't really need to worry about it. Now for the range setup, I would suggest taking a Royal Crossbow simply because it's got a very, very good damage and accuracy rating, and as you can see there, just by equipping the Royal Crossbow, you can see that the accuracy rating has gone way up on the Staff of Light. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly show. You should take Royal Bolts. Now, obviously, it's up to you what you take, but I'm just taking Royal Bolts, you know, just because they're slightly better than the rest of the bolts. Obviously, you could switch this out for Ascension Crossbows if you can afford them, or not. You could probably work with some other stuff as well, but I would just recommend getting the Royal Crossbow if you are going to do multiple kills. Now for amulets, I've gone with the Saradomin's Murmur just to provide a good critical bonus. Same reason with the Archer's Ring as well, similar to the Seer's Ring, though this can be substituted for a Ring of Wealth. But I'm just going to keep the Archer's Ring. And for equipment, you just really need the Carols. You don't really need any better than that. You could upgrade to Armadyl because it doesn't degrade, but I mean, I don't really see the point. I mean, you know, Carols is good enough as it is. So that's the range setup, but obviously you could also substitute out the gloves and boots for, you know, like, I'm not sure what the gloves are, I think it's like pneumatic or whatever, and obviously boots you could have Armadyl stuff, but I've just gone with Ganodermics because, you know, it's just easier. You're not wasting a load of time buying Armadyl boots because they're not that much better. I mean, you actually get a better armor and life bonus with Ganodermics, and I mean, the effect isn't much different, so I've just gone with that. And yeah, it'll also give you a bit more protection towards her melee attacks as well, so you know, that's obviously worth it. So I'm just going to go back to what I'm going to be doing for this video, which is going to be mage, but I'm also going to have a range switch. So yeah, I'm basically going to show you guys that I'm going to bank that I might keep the Ring of Wealth because it's always useful to have a teleport that you can just click on and it will teleport you straight to the Grand Exchange. So I always like to keep a Ring of Wealth. Now, as for the inventory setup, I would like to go with just super anti-fires. You probably could do it without them, but you know, it's really not worth it. I mean, 85 isn't too expensive. It's probably about 20 mil or so, and by the time that you've done a couple of kills at QBD, you're probably going to make that money back anyway. And of course, I'm just taking extremes just to get the kill a little bit faster, and so that I can get, you know, a bit better concentration. Now, as for auras, you can take an aura. I would recommend Vampirism, but you can also take like Extreme Ranging or whatever. I don't really know what the auras are because I've only got Vampirism at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be taking when I remember. Now, as for the prayers, now a lot of guys that you'll see won't do this, but I'm just going to quickly show you. For QBD, you want to be praying ranged, and of course you're probably going to want to be praying whatever your attack style is. So if your main attack style, for me it's going to be mage, so I'm just going to go back to here and select these two. Now, you can always just select just the one if you want to, but if you are going to select one, I would go for this one here, or if you're a ranger, this one here, simply because that just increases your hit chances. So that's what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be going for this one as well, simply because I'm 98 magic, and you know, I want to be hitting just that little bit higher just to get a bit of a faster kill. And I mean, you sometimes get super restores there anyway, so you don't really need to worry about it, but yeah. Now, if you are bringing a switch, which I do recommend because it can help you to get more kills, then I would recommend bringing a range and mage switch rather than a melee and range. You could always substitute for a mage and melee, but I wouldn't recommend it just because, you know, it is easier to go with, you know, Royal and Ganodermics, just because, you know, it's... then you can have two ranged attacks and she won't hit you with her melee, which can hit very, very high, so just be aware of that. So if you've got the stats, then obviously mage and range, but also because they're two different attack styles. So yeah, and then you can you know, you can always do lots of stuff, you know. So yeah, when she says she's weak to this or she's weak to that, then that's when you want to be using two different attack styles, so range and mage, you know, because then if she's weak to physical, then you can switch to range, and if she's weak to magic, then of course you've got mage. So yeah, that's recommended. Now, if you are going for maximum kills per hour, I will recommend bringing a War Tortoise and filling it with the best food that you have. So for me that's Rocktails, but for other people, you know, you could always substitute this for sharks and stuff. But with the method I'm using, you shouldn't have to eat too regularly. So that's the ability bar setup that I have. Now, I know YouTube fan will kill me because A, I've just called him Logoth now, but B, I haven't changed my binds. So I'm just gonna... Oh, wow, that's... I don't know why this is so sensitive suddenly. Okay, I'm gonna have to work out what's wrong with... Oh, there we go. I'm gonna have to unlock, and then I can move it. Okay, that works. So guys, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to talk about what you can take. So obviously it helps to have, you know, Vampirism. But for the inventory setup, just really copy what I've got here. So I have got Ring of Wealth for the teleport. And, you know, if I wanted, I could switch it just as I'm about to open the chest, just to possibly get some better loot. So, yep. And I've also got the ranged setup switch, so I've got some Royal Bolts as well. Now, I haven't got a Scrimshaw. Now, you can bring that if you want to. I mean, it doesn't really... I can't see it helping too much, but obviously you can bring it if you want to. Though, the way I am doing it, you shouldn't have to eat too regularly. Now, for the Royal Crossbow, just going to quickly check. Okay, cool. You're going to have to want to have it on about 20% charge or more before going, you know, just in case you get really, really good and you'll be able to camp for a long time. Now for the Tortoise, you can always substitute this, so you could have more food in the inventory, or you can substitute it to have more super restores, as you will be using quite a lot of these, which is why I have 4. Now I'm going with this setup to have approximately 10 to 12 kills, possibly even more than that. I'm not really sure, but you know, hopefully I should be able to get that many. Yeah, I've just realised I have no runes, so I'm quickly going to go and get some, and then I can go down and meet you there, ready for the Okay, so for the spell you're going to want to be using, I would recommend taking Bloodfire Barrage, simply because this helps to heal you just a little bit. But of course, you can always upgrade to Ice Barrage, which hits possibly a little bit higher. I'm not really sure. No, they hit the same, so just take Bloodfire Barrage, and I think it's actually cheaper to cast anyway, because I think they're less expensive than Water Runes. You know, obviously it is useful to get a little bit of HP back, so yeah, that's why I would recommend taking that. So to get there, I'm just going to quickly show you how, though, you know, you might know how to get there already. So here's my ability bar setup. I have got Rack, Sonic Wave, Impact, Combust, Dragon Breath, though I rarely use that. Just going to point that out now. I rarely use Dragon Breath because I'm rarely within that closer range of QBD. Then of course I've got Asphyxiate, Omni Power, which is actually very useful in the final phases. There's a quick Summoning Obelisk here if you want to use it, though if you don't have a Beast of Burden, you know, you don't really use it. You can substitute your Beast of Burden. Say if you wanted to Steel Titan, then that would be possibly even more useful, seeing as this method doesn't really tend to use much food. But you could also take something like a Pack Yak if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you could use the Banking Scrolls, or you could bring a Unicorn for the Healing Aura. So I'm just going to finish up my setup. I also have Debilitate, Rejuvenate, though I do not have a shield, I shall admit. Barricade, Freedom, and Regenerate. Regenerate comes in very handy, and if you have a shield, then these two abilities can come in very handy as well, as you can help to rejuvenate a lot of health. Though I tend to only have that when I have a dual hand setup, in which case I would substitute Sonic Wave for, when I can find it, there it is, Concentrated Blast. So I'm going to go in now and just show you what to do, roughly with, like, in terms of abilities and killing her, though it should be fairly simple. So I have got Extreme Magic and Super Anti-Fire. When you come in, you're going to want to stand around here. It doesn't matter whether you're stood there, but I would not go in front of this. Just going to quickly pot up, so if I just show you there, and then you can start spamming out the basic abilities. So it's always good to get the first hit on QBD, and with extremes you will completely wreck her to shreds. So yeah, you don't really need to worry about that. Now, the switching to the Royal Crossbow will come in later on, or it might not come in at all, I'm not really sure. But if I just quickly show you, that was a terrible hit from Asphyxiate, but obviously, you know, it would be very useful. Now, as for these fire waves, you can either choose to tank them, or you can choose to dodge them if you wish. Just for this, I'm going to show you how to dodge them, though it is very simple. They only come in 3 places, there, and there. Where you can see my mouse, hopefully you can see it. Though if you can't, then I'm very sorry, because I know I have been having a bit of trouble with the mouse in terms of recording. So when you've done the first phase, you just click on this Dragonkin Artifacts 1, and you know, you can choose to move over here, though I just find it easier when she's doing her Fire Wave attack, because then you can just move here. So on the first wave, she will only use 1 of these. But on the second wave, which is what we're on now, she will tend to use 2. She's summoning a Tortured Soul, so what you're going to want to do, sorry if you missed that, but you just literally take 2 steps to your left so that you miss the Tortured Soul, but so that it runs through itself. So, yeah, that's always kind of cool, and if you pull it off, then it can save you some HP and having to eat. I've just realised that my aura's not active, so I'm going to do that. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast, but obviously this is quite a fast-paced boss, and you need to keep on top of things. So I'm just going to quickly lock my ability bar before I do something stupid, and then there, and I'm just going to leave this combust going on her, so hopefully she should catch on fire and die. Okay, so second wave is complete, so you're going to want to run down here and click on the Dragon Artifact 2. Though it should be said that by the time you've done this, a grot worm will have spawned, so you're going to want to kill that as quickly as you can. Here's where the switch comes in when you see this, and then you just literally switch to your range setup, which, you know, I'm not going to go through what it is because I'm in the middle of a kill. Just run out of prayer, so you're going to want to keep up to date with that. Just going to turn my friends chat off because I've just realised I've got it on and I could miss some very important messages. So I have actually got extreme ranging for this. So there we go. This is actually not too bad a kill, you know, I'm not really having to eat at all yet. So as you can see, just the range switch comes in very handy, or I'll literally take about 3 times as long trying to do this kill. So there you go. Third phase, come on, what's this? There we go, third phase is down. So you're going to want to run over here to Dragon Artifact number 3. If you do ever forget which ones they are, you can always right click them and examine them, though I am going to get hit by that fire wave actually, and that one too. Okay, so now for this phase, you will never ever want to be stood in the middle, except if you have to be. Because when this happens, she's going to be using her extreme fire attack, so that's obviously not very good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to eat up just in case she summons a tortured soul, and that's what I like to see. There you go, so we're going to absolutely wreck her to shreds with magic now because this message has popped up. So she's going to get hit an absolute ton by magic, and this is going to hit a 5k. There we go, 5k right there. Sorry if you couldn't see that, but yeah, some stuff was in the way there, so I'm very, very sorry. And you know, this should be a relatively fast kill. You know, obviously, without the switch, it would be a bit longer. Just going to wait for these fire waves because these grot worms tend to hit less than the fire waves do. Just remember, if you run through the fire waves the other way, so going that way, then they will hit you twice. But if you run forward through them, they will only hit you once. So if you do think you're going to get hit by them, just remember to run through them. Okay, so first chest, and we got some U-logs. Well, that's alright. Now, if you do get some Saradomin and Bruise, it might sound stupid, but it's usually better to pot up on those. Although that does reduce some of your stats, it will save you some HP, and you won't have to use any more Rocktails, which can be more expensive, and it's always nice to get free food. So I am going to go and use another thing. Just going to quickly bless this gravestone. There we go, blessed, and going to go back through the portal because I think I can get another kill out of that. Not 2-on-1, but obviously it would be nice to get one of those some point during this video. But in relativity to how I was performing when I recorded this same thing yesterday, I just messed up because I forgot to turn the mic on. Then, you know, it's relatively good. So, you know, it's not a very fast kill, the one we just did. So hopefully we'll get a better one this time. Okay, so as I say, just going to go back to spamming out abilities. Here we go. You didn't really get to see the tortured souls at their prime, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to do that in this one. Hopefully there'll be some tortured souls. Well, actually, I prefer it if there wouldn't, then I wouldn't have to, you know, take the risk in enduring them. But, oh well, obviously it's always very nice to get every single aspect when you're recording a guide, because people might say, oh my god, what do I do? What's this? Now you'll see I've just literally repotted, and I'll tell you why. It's because this message popped up, your resistance to Dragonfire is about to run out. So obviously, if you are taking super anti-fires, then you'll only have to repot once every 6 minutes. But if you are not taking super anti-fires, then you will have to pot more regularly than that. I think it's going to be every 2. Just got hit by those fire waves, so that's not very good. There we go. And I would reply to Log, but until I'm in like Asphyxiate or something, I can't tell him I'm busy because I will die. Okay, so running through again. Hopefully you saw it better that time. So there we go. There we go. Just going to quickly... Busy. Whoops. And there we go. Ooh, obviously always quite risky typing it. Okay, so I'm actually going to finish off this wave with one big whack in the face. There we go, he's dead, and that's a 5k hit if you didn't see there. So that was obviously really nice. Good way to finish that wave. Going to repot. Now, you can always tank these grot worms if you want to, but I would say, here we go, more Tortured Souls. So for this one, you want to do exactly the same. And then, again, go back to the range switch. So, just going to quickly, I wonder what I'm potted at. 106, that should be enough, so I shouldn't have to repot. Obviously, I can if I want to, but, I mean, 106 should be enough. I'm still plus 12 on that pot, I think. Yep, so that's alright. Should hit massively with that, so here we go. Get some more Tortured Souls, and there we go. Sometimes that will happen, and you will miss. Obviously, it's really annoying when that does happen, but, you know, it does happen occasionally, so just beware of that. And it is always useful to have some good HP when you're trying to kill these things. So, I never like to drop below 2000 HP on any phase, really, but, you know, especially on the last two. Here we go, so I'm just going to quickly eat here. I should be able to get this kill in. Go, go, go. Really? No. Okay, so. I'm going to get hit loads by these walls, man. There we go. If I'd have got hit by one more wall, I would have been dead. So, yep, that's not good. Okay, so. Obviously, that was a very, very poor kill so far. And we are going to go for nowhere near 12 kills unless we get a good replenishment of Rocktails. So, for these ones, you never really want to have less than 4000 HP, just in case this happens. There we go. And there we go. You'll see that I managed to dodge those quite successfully. So, yep. Obviously, I've had a lot of practice at this, and someone who's new to this might not be as lucky as I was there. Here we go. Oh, wow, that's so poor. So poor indeed. Okay, so. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to the range. And you know what? Just for the purpose of the video, I shall repot on my ranging flask. That's what they're there for after all. So I will do that. There we go. So I've just hit 2000. Hopefully we can get some more. Sorry if this isn't really making much sense, but obviously I have to be concentrating at the same time. Just had to repot my flask there. So always good to use Debilitate as well whenever you can, because obviously it does help to reduce the impact of some of the... oh, quick run. No, I'm dead. Okay, guys, one more thing before I go is that when you die, or if you die, your grave will appear just outside the door. So all you got to do is click Equip All. Now, obviously, sometimes you're not going to be very lucky. And, you know, you might have, like, full food left in your thing. So as you see there, I just got a little bit unlucky on those Tortured Souls. Obviously, I didn't really want those for in the last phase, but I managed to get them, so that was a bit annoying. Yeah, I think it was just a bit unlucky that I didn't manage to dodge them, because as you see, the one in the bottom left, which is the one you should logically go for, is the one that actually moved out the way. Sometimes that happens, which is why you should really be on about no less than 5k HP in the final phase. Sometimes you can actually get comboed out very easily, like I did there. I think I got hit for about 3,800, so yeah, obviously that hits very quite a lot. So I'm just going to go back to the Grand Exchange and talk through the stats you should have. So for the stats you should have, I would say 50 agility is a must. Simply because if you do die, then you can slide down the thing and you don't have to go through the whole grotworm layer. In fact, I will go back and show you how to get back to your stuff if you do die and you don't have 50 agility. Obviously, it's more than possible to do it without it, but it just saves a lot of time if you don't have it. So, if you do have it, sorry. As for stats, I would say there's no real minimum on defense, but I would say enough if you're taking... I would say if you are taking Ganodermics, then you want enough to have that, so 75 for Gano. You know, they don't really tend to hit through defense much, because it's obviously... oh, I've got to remember not to go there. So this is how to get back to your grave, by the way, so just watch the screen, but I'm going to continue talking. As for prayer, you know, I would say just enough so that you can get protect from missiles, but obviously it'd be great if you could get Overcharge and Mystic. Is that Mystic Might as well? Yeah, so you're probably going to want about 45 and obviously 44 if you're using range. So yeah, if you can just see where I'm going now, this is just how to get back to your stuff if you die. So there you go, there's a door here. Now you might think, oh yeah, that's fine, that's only going to take a minute. No, there's actually 2 more layers to get through. So if you do die, it would be worth bringing like some... it might even be worth like bringing some super energy potions if you don't have 50 agility. Just because, look, if you see just how much my run's going down now, you'll see, you know, it does take quite a while to get back to your stuff. I would say it's probably somewhere between 1 and 3 minutes to get back to your stuff from death. Obviously, it's only going to take like 1 minute from if you die and you've got 50 agility, so you know it's obviously a big boost to have that, especially if you've only got a gravestone that's going to last about like 1 minute. So yeah, defense you don't really need, but if you are going for range, I would say you'd want 85 range. That's just like the basic things, you know, you should really have that. I mean, it's not really too hard to get. You know, just a couple of hours training at Water Fiends and you should be fine. Just going to go past the little bot layer. There you go. Every single one of these peeps is a bot. And I just think I hit that thing, so... oh well. Yep, loads of bots, loads of bots. Ooh, total level 493. Wow, that bot's been busy. But yeah, sometimes actually, in between kills, it can be useful to come down this way from the thing. But there you go. And if you want to get back to your stuff, then... you know, you just go down here, and there's the door for the QBD layer. So, you know, so yeah, guys, I'm just going to quickly teleport back to Grand Exchange, but hopefully that was quite helpful, showing you how to get through. Yeah. Now, obviously, with Mage, you're going to want actually a slightly higher Mage level than you might think. I would say possibly 90. 95 maybe, just because then you can get all these spells here. 94 I would say, 92 I would say is the least you could do it with, because then you get Bloodfire Barrage, and obviously it's really, really useful to get that. Did I actually activate my aura? Yes I did, so I was a complete noob on those kills. But yeah, you know, it's obviously really, really fun. Can be a great money making method if you don't die, but if you want to try it out, I would suggest just even going with a couple of items. You know, as you can see, I have managed to no armor it before, so you know, it's not really too bad. I mean, if you look at my RuneScape's Hardest Bosses episode 2, I think it is, and you'll see I actually did better than I did just then with no armor, and I took ranged. Oh, sorry guys, I seem to be like yawning loads. But yeah. I'm not really sure for melee because I've never actually killed her with melee, but obviously for constitution you're going to want fairly high so that rocktails heal you quite well, or so that sharks heal you well. So I would say like 89, 90-ish, but obviously you could do it far less than that. So yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.